Together, we can.
Our hustle will pay off, you know. Our hustle will pay off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Upside Down Show. And the show is proudly brought to you by Vodafone Ghana. Together, we can. My name is Premier Dunyami.
And mine is Nana Tufu. And it's always a pleasure coming your way with the most exciting, most entertaining lifestyle show you can get on television. Stay with us. We will be right back. When we come back, it's going to be fire through and through. Stay with us.
Coming up on the Upside Down Show, we have a conversation with sound engineer and artist King of Accra and head of research at City FM and City TV and rap artist Nathan Quao on balancing a career separate from music, being an artist and the music industry as a whole on the show.
Welcome back. This is the Upside Down Show, and it's always such a pleasure when we have to talk to family members.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, home is where the heart is.
Absolutely.
So when we get to speak to people from home, I mean, the feeling is quite different.
No, but you know, on a serious note, you know, City really has some big men, you know, in the family. Now,
people don't know.
Charlie, if they
But
knew,
who will tell them?
no, we'll tell the story.
Upside Down Show.
You know,
we'll
and
bring
this
it all
is a
out.
gentleman who does sound. So when you are here, you probably might just see him as some gentle guy, you know, some quiet guy who will just come and fix your mic for you, or just make sure your sound is on point, you know, when you have to go on air. But behind the scenes or beyond the city, he is doing amazing when it comes to creating music. Ladies and gentlemen, he also owns part of the capital. He is Nikome, the king of Accra.
What up?
So today I'm not going to tell you that. King of Accra, my sound, I can hear some noise. Welcome to the Upside Down Show.
Thank you. It's a different feeling being here.
Really?
Yeah.
So explain that or share that experience with us. Today somebody was micing you.
Yes.
You are a guest. We are covering you.
It feels special though. Like the experience is different. Let's see how it goes. You know, if you guys will not be too hard on me.
Well,
No, there's nothing to be hard
I
about.
know how you guys do. I watch you from inside there.
Today you are here in the hot seat. King of Accra.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm a musician, a sound engineer, just a music lover. You know what I mean? I'm a creative. That's how I like to describe myself.
Yeah. But how did it all start for you?
Okay, so it sounds cliche, but I've been doing music like since I was a child.
Yeah.
Because I was born into the church. My dad was a reverend minister, so I've always
Which church?
Assemblies of God.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my dad was with Assemblies of God. I mean, I was born into the church. I mean, so I've been around music like my whole life. I've been in the choir. I've been playing around with instruments and stuff like that. So I mean, that's how I think it started with me.
And you're not doing gospel?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Why? Did God offend you? Did Jesus offend you at some point?
No, not that I wouldn't like to classify any song like I do to be like a gospel song, because when you look at my very first album, which was released last year, the first song on it is called Brana Besha Oba. It talks about God should come and look at what his child is doing right now, you know what I mean? So I would definitely do songs that will highlight the fact that I appreciate God, but I would not describe it as gospel music, you know what I mean?
But was there ever a conflict, I mean, in choosing the kind of songs to do? Did you ever have to beat yourself about it, whether to do secular or to do gospel, since you were born into the church?
No, because I think ever since I fell in love with like hip-hop music, I've just had the feeling that that is it. That's what I'm supposed to do. Not only just hip hop, but like any other genre apart from probably gospel, because I do reggae music too. You know what I mean? I'm able to do all types of stuff. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't just like to be categorized as a gospel artist. You know
you're not a preacher man, you know. Because you do other stuff. But so okay, why did you not go straight into music? Why did you decide to maybe like have, I mean, a normal job, you know, a 5 to 8, or come work in the media? Why are you not focusing on just music?
I mean, we need to be realistic as human beings. You know what I mean? When we're in Ghana, you can't do music in Ghana and eat well unless you are part of the big 4 or the big 3. You know what I mean? So there are a whole lot of people acting out there doing big manism, but they are really hungry on the downside. You know what I mean? And I don't want to lau, so definitely. You know what I mean?
But is it worth your while?
Yes, it is definitely, because I'm able to easily purchase things that I would not have really been able to purchase if not for working a 9 to 5 or doing a hustle or something like that. So yes, it's definitely worth it. And I encourage anybody who is not part of the big 3 or the big 4 who wants to be able to do his or her music successfully, independently, without depending on anyone, to definitely try a hustle, entrepreneurship, get a job, something. It will keep you going.
That's the thing about you I like. I mean, you say it as it is.
It has to be said as it is.
Yeah. So recently, I mean, your name was out there. Or let me say you were out there, especially on social media, on Twitter. I mean, you just brought the heat to the fire. Especially with respect to artists you had worked for who had failed or refused to pay you.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I mean, it's like a culture in Ghana, which is close to a canker, if not more, where people will give you all sorts of assurances and tell you that be feature, but they will all enjoy. But then, I mean, you have to go through the experience in order to be able to survive it, or else you just keep falling for the same thing all over again. And I felt like, I mean, I need to tell my truth. I don't need for a journalist to come and tell my truth for me. I need to come out and let people know what it is. I don't have to lie, you know what I mean? Because there are people looking up to me. And recently, let me just tag this the death of the 10-year or the 11-year-old boy, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want people to look at me and feel like, hey, this guy is some big man and everything's okay with him. Let me try and go and do something so that I become like him. I need to let them know that this is what it is. So that when be hustle and be real. If you're not real, I mean, you can do your PR and be all good about it, but who's it going to affect? It's going to affect you. So I say it as it is, and I feel like the people who need to understand will understand it. But obviously, there are certain emotional people who will definitely not understand what it is.
So we don't want to drop names, people you have worked with who, I'm not saying bash people or something, you know. So for example,
bash people, I can just tell the truth.
Exactly. So can you share some of the people you've worked with, you know, and it's been some way, you know, who?
I can't sit here and say that every top person that I've worked with here has paid me. So you can just look through
none of them.
None of them. But I did. If you're following the conversation on Twitter, I did mention names. Yeah. So
yeah,
so none of them.
For those who were not following the conversation on Twitter, maybe you want.
they can definitely do the Twitter search and find out the information.
So share with us some of the top people that you have worked with.
I've worked with Samini. I've worked with Sarkodie. I've worked with Daddy Opanka. I've worked with Trickmatic. I've worked with a whole lot of artists. You know what I mean? There are a lot.
Yeah,
I've mentioned a few names.
But have you not also benefited? You know, sometimes you give out something and you also receive something, maybe kind of butter stuff. You know, you may not be given physical cash, but if you are working with somebody like Samini, if you're working with somebody like Sarkodie, is he also not putting your work out there? Did you consider it that way?
Yeah, I did consider it that way. That's why I've been quiet for all these years until now.
So why are you talking now?
Because I feel like it's worthless to get paid by popularity when you're doing tangible work. You don't get paid by popularity.
Yeah. Is it because now, you know, sometimes when you are a bit far from where you want to be, you will consider certain things. But maybe now you see yourself as me to have arrived to Charlie.
But back then you were enjoying the fame, so you were riding along with it.
By enjoying the fame, what do you mean by enjoying the fame? How do you enjoy fame?
Well, the name was out there. I mean, you step out. I mean, let's face reality like we're doing. If the name is out there, you step out. You get to enjoy some favors because the name is out there.
Okay, so there's something that I would like to mention, right? I was not someone who was trying to become popular.
Okay.
It just happened. So I was in a studio working for a certain man. I wouldn't like to highlight him right now.
Why?
For personal reasons.
You all fell apart?
No, we didn't fall apart.
He owes you too?
Well, I would say yes.
Charlie, be like everyone owes you in the industry.
Because, okay, so let me tell that story.
Employ me to collect your money for you because Charlie, you have money in the system.
Let me tell you a story. So I was working with this man who set up a studio when he came back from the UK, and he happened to employ me to work in his studio. I mean, if people will put their minds to it, they will get the name, but I wouldn't want to mention it.
Examination questions like this.
So there was a time where I got admission into uni, and I used to still go back to the studio and still work with him. And he calls me and tells me that, okay, come work for me, I'll pay you X amount of money. So the very last straw that broke the camel's back was when he brought me back on campus after going to work for him, and then he looked me dead in the eye and told me that, yo, I cannot pay you. If I pay you, I'll be running at a loss.
Whoa.
Yeah, he told me that.
But was it realistic? You know, I mean, we know the industry that we have now.
Yeah.
Do you think that people are just being wicked? People are just trying to, you know, cheat people out of business? Or you think that genuinely, just as much as sound engineers are facing some challenges, musicians are equally facing the challenges? So you might have musicians, you know, live some kind of flamboyance on social media or, I mean, outside, but genuinely, they don't have it.
Okay, so I would refer to the interview I had with Olele on City Countdown, where I told him that it's understandable that an artist will want to cheat a producer because probably Gamro is also cheating him as much as they're cheating all of us. So I mean, it is what it is. But then I'm not going to calm down for you because you have wronged me based on the fact that somebody is wronging you. I might disturb both you and the person, you know what I mean, disturbing you. And I don't think I'm calm about things when it gets
to
eat.
Yeah, but then what happened to putting pen to paper, contracts? And there's this thing you guys have. What was the name? Something sheet, split sheet.
Split sheet.
Yeah. What happened to all that? Okay,
so a split sheet is basically just a document that's outlining what part of the music you played, like I wrote in. So let's say there's a song called Be Mine, where I featured my brother in the newsroom, where I was featured by my brother in the newsroom,
Mr. Quao.
So on that split sheet, my name will be in the split sheet, and it will say that, okay, I wrote the hook and I performed the hook on the song. That's basically what a split sheet is. And the split sheet will be beneficial if you have a publisher, so you can sign over the song's rights to the publisher, and the publisher will now scan throughout the globe and then take all the monies that is due you for you. You know what I mean? So the split, not to cut you, the split sheet will not actually. It will help. It's important, but then that's not what is going to get you what you need. What you need is like a written contract that says that King of Accra is producing the song, and at the end of the day, when we release the song, he owns 20% of all streams. Or when I perform the song here, he owns 20% of what I'm paid. You know what I mean? That's what will save the
But why are you not
producer.
doing that?
Okay, so like I said in the beginning, you get all sort of promises. Oh, let's work. When the work pays off, we'll chop, and then after 10 years, you are still hungry.
So my question still stands. You have experienced this over and over again. Why would you still fall victim to this?
Okay, so I can't really say I've experienced it over and over and over again. So let's say I started
because almost
working.
Every top musician you've worked with, one way or the other, owes you.
Yeah, but
so why do you keep working with them?
Within a particular period of time.
Okay, so now it won't happen.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have no interest in working with people, you know what I mean?
Now you're doing your own stuff.
Yeah, I record myself and I release my music. So I released an album last year called Adulthood, and I really like what Adulthood.
The name is even
Tell us about the album.
It says so much.
Okay, so
what do you mean by Adulthood?
Adulthood is me telling the world that I think I've come of age, even though people will see me and say that, hey, you're old, like you've already been of age, but musically, with experience and everything, I've come of age. So there's no way I'm going to be that person I was in 2008 when people first heard of me, or 2009 when people first heard of me. So Adulthood is me telling people that I'm now experienced, I'm now a grown man in the business or in my craft.
Okay, so
How many songs are on that album?
19.
19?
Yeah.
Your
Why?
first album has 19 songs.
Yeah.
but you could have
Nah,
split
you're a
the
big man.
songs. You know, have like 3
You're a
albums or
big
more.
man.
I could have. You know, last year was a special year. COVID allowed me to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In as much as it was also a bad moment for the world, like
Yeah.
I also lost like family due to COVID. You know what I mean?
sorry about that.
So every time that when we were working here, you know, we used to run shifts here.
Yeah.
I come in the morning and I go back home in the afternoon. When I go home, I'm able to use the rest of the time to do music, and I can make like 2-3 songs in a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so now that you've come of age, now that you're experienced and you're in your adulthood, we have something that adults do, you know. So please, show us some of your
like the sound of that,
experiences.
Oh no, not really. Because listen, I'm not really a keyboardist or a pianist or a professional player. I'm just someone who is. I'll just say I'm a very lucky person because, like, I don't really know how to play the keyboard. But when I get in a studio, like, I can produce about 10 beats within, like, just say 2 hours or less. You know what I mean? So it's.
So you're not going to do keyboard?
Oh, I can do some keyboard for you.
So let's hear you do keyboard.
It's going to be something that you're familiar with.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so. So let's say I'm in the studio right now.
Okay.
And obviously this is something I'll do at the last. I'll bring drums definitely at the last point.
Okay.
But so then that will be one loop that will keep on looping. Then I'll get another idea, probably a lead or something, and I'll just add it. So this is basically how I will start making a beat, put my first ideas down. And I've never tried, I've tried, but I felt like it was a waste of my time, so I stopped learning how to play the keyboard. Because I was so engulfed in knowing how to make beats and making beats by myself. And I need to chip it in here for good measure. I was trained to make beats by Hammer of the Last Two.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Right after I finished my junior high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Which year was this?
Wow. Come on,
I nearly
get the
got
cat out of the bag.
Okay, so I finished my JSS somewhere in 2000. Yeah,
2000?
Yeah.
You make me feel like an old woman. At where?
In East Legon, a school called Elegant School in East Legon. So I grew up in East Legon.
Right.
Okay, you look it.
Yeah, Dada Bish.
I don't mean that
You're a hustler. But you know, maybe King of Accra should record a single, you know, and feature me.
Yeah.
But it's going to be pro bono.
Your voice is.
I can't pay. I'm people beg. I can't pay. So don't take me to Twitter.
Just sit right with him.
Okay, King of Accra.
What's up?
You have beautiful songs. Now I have heard the beautiful stuff you've done. We knew you were coming, and so we got a microphone for you,
Ta-da.
and you have to do something for us.
All right, man.
Okay.
Take us away,
So
man.
what song would you like me to perform?
Just take us away. We are at your service.
Wow,
Anything,
wow,
you know.
us, wow,
Okay,
us.
let's perform with Daisy.
Okay.
So that's a new one.
Not too new. That's the one I released before, the very new one that's out now. So this one features Sconty, big ups to you wherever you are, Kojo Sconty of my time. If in my money, don't call me. If in my money, don't call me. When you just see me, just bash yeah. When you just see me, just dash yeah. If in my money, don't call me. If in my money, don't call me. When you just see me, just bash yeah. When you just see me, just dash yeah. Odeshi, 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 Hami, Odeshi, 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 Odeshi. If it the money, don't call me. I promise those things they bore me. I'm up in the morning, I pray to the Father, make show me the things where they for me. Now let's get back to the money. If my enemies them all run away, my haters there them be funny. When I make money, I reinvest. Looking for business, I never rest. I day alive, I for do good and work on my better, become the best. Back in the day, my people they dream about Lambo. But right now they're cruising a Benzo. Soon we go reach the Lambo.
If in my money don't call me, see me just pass it.
If in my money don't call me, if in my money don't call me.
Why ain't just see me just
Bash she
Why ain't just see me just
there she oh there she, oh there she, oh there she, oh there she, hammy yo there she, oh there she, oh there she, oh there she, hammy yo there she, oh there she, oh there she, oh there she, hammy yo there she, oh there she, oh there she, oh there she,
oh there she.
It's like about on the trap beat. I be you know me. Need K-Way coming on the track with a heavy bang now. Hoodie on my back, J's on my feet. You know it's about to go down. Ripping.
Wow. Now, fantastic. It's also, yeah. All right, okay. Look, you're not in the studio, you're not on stage. You know, we just put you on the spot. And this is what being a musician is all about.
Thank
I'm
you.
proud
So
of
this
you.
is not even the latest. Which one is the latest?
The latest is Nyonko Boni. I released Nyonko Boni because of the situation that happened in Kaswa. Just to let people know that you don't need to follow people for shortcuts. You know what I mean? Shortcuts are dangerous, so definitely let's be wary of that. You know what I mean?
Is that one by yourself only, or it has
just me myself. Most of the time I like to do stuff by myself.
Amazing. All right, man. Kino from Quao,
Charlie,
man.
you're a big man.
Absolutely wonderful stuff. Charlie, you're going places, bro. I tell you, no lie, man.
Thanks.
I don't have the voice, but I've got the ear for good music. So
Absolutely.
I'm telling you for a fact, you're going places. That was absolutely beautiful.
It was good.
Don't worry, so I know that for you, we'll still have you around because very soon you'll be fixing my sound and all. For me.
Yeah,
And I love that.
To fix your sound right
man.
now.
And I see you
The hustle continues,
you know,
man.
the superstar that you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Right,
Yeah.
you're still watching the Upside Down Show, proudly brought to you by Vodafone Ghana. Together, we can. We'll be right back after this break.
All right, you're welcome back. I mean, it's been fun. It's been interesting. King of Accra just blew our minds with that wonderful performance. But just hold tight, yeah. Strap up, get your seatbelts on because it's about to get hotter and hotter in
You know,
this building.
we often say that it's not a fair world. And when I think about this gentleman, I really believe that it's not a fair world. You understand? Because how can one person be so talented? How can he know it all? How can he be creative, intelligent? I mean, everything.
Yeah. He does everything. What I want to find out from him today is if he can cook.
Well, you know,
That we do not know.
I have been very close to him, you know, and when you talk to him beyond the surface, he is very emotional.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
and,
yeah.
And you know, he is very, very loving. You know, he knows how to take care of a woman.
Oh wow.
And I want to believe that people who do that often, you know
how to
can wow
cook.
women with cooking.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome our next guest, Nathan the Obodai Quao.
Sugar Bossy.
Yes, sir. Obodai.
What's up,
Charlie,
man?
you do all.
What's up, man?
No,
Charlie, you
but
there.
who are you? Ade, who are you? Do you understand?
Your level will be different.
Charlie,
Sure.
who are
Charlie,
your parents?
they are
Who
big
gave them to
man.
you?
Half amazing.
Half amazing.
Half one, half
You're a
amazing.
superman.
Wow.
Who are your parents? You know, tell us about your childhood.
My childhood, I think I grew up as a regular boy. I mean, having two parents around,
Hard to
have two
believe,
brothers.
but yeah, you go ahead.
Quite regular. But I lived in I think I grew up in a family of very creative people.
Yeah.
My dad's an artist.
Okay.
He did graphics at Tech. He paints. He draws those things. My older brother paints, draws, has done music videos. Now does
Who's
adverts.
the older brother?
Nana Kofi Esehine, NKACC.
Charlie, what's happening? Yeah, what is this?
And my younger brother Lawrence, he's another creative. He majored in art direction in film school, went to NAFTI. And was top of his art direction class. So now that's photography, those types of things.
It doesn't come as a
Unfortunately,
surprise.
I wasn't gifted to draw and paint and stuff. I think my creative gifts are in a different direction.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it.
How come you're so intelligent?
Wow.
That's a one bear. What bear, bro?
Really?
So
Am I?
Honestly.
Am I?
No, from sports, being like head of sports, and then coming to
of
current
research.
affairs, and now head of research. You know, all these things, head of research. Suppose that mom can be Johnny. Head of research. And Nathan, tell us about your education. You know, where have you come from?
Okay, so I went to school, primary and JSS at Datus Complex in Bubiashi. Then I went to Accra Academy, which was a non-starter. All the men in my family line went to Accra Academy. So my granddad,
Okay, so
my granddad, my
you know,
dad,
earlier
my
we spoke
older
to King of
brother.
Accra.
Yes. So King went to Accra. King's my junior.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
So you knew him in school?
Yes, I knew King of Accra.
Did you ever think that you guys would do something?
I won't say no, but in his year group, because I noticed, I mean, of all the people who did music in King's year, I noticed he was very different.
Okay.
You could tell that he had a deeper love for music. So he always stayed at the back of my mind. And many years after school, would meet casually here and there. I remember the last place I met King before he joined us here was at the Accra Academy Old School reunion.
Okay.
He was with some other beat makers, Slimbo and some other guys. And then, you know, we just spoke casually. And every now and again, I think of, okay, I want to work with King.
So we'll come back, we'll come back to your work with King.
Yeah, so after secondary school, went to the School of Translators, University of Ghana, took up an undergrad in translation. Then after that, did my national service. I taught for a year, I think more than a year, about 2 years or so. Then I went to do my master's at Leicester, Frema would know. And then after that, after master's, I joined City. That was 2013 in January. And it's been the journey ever since. Joined, as a reporter, sports reporter. Got up, became editor at a point. Then I was moved on to doing research. Did some mainstream. I've read news with Frema.
That's my guy,
Super guy.
So we both love Daddy Lumba.
Exactly. I do too. I mean,
Especially Daddy Lumba's English songs.
So that's in terms of so that's my journey in terms of school.
How many languages do you speak now?
Wow. Okay, so English, officially English, French. So this is in the order of proficiency. English, French, and Spanish. I took a Japanese course
Nathan,
at Leicester, but Japanese is difficult. So
Japanese is the same. What?
no, but it was part of the course. From what you know.
I know.
And then so English, French, Spanish. Those are the languages I can say I'm very familiar with.
Okay.
Let's say, at a point I wanted to teach myself Portuguese, but that's a bit unknown.
What is it?
In the
I
last year or so, because I've been listening to Italian football. Then I thought, let me see if I can learn Italian. I haven't started properly, but
I beg you for the tag me. Okay. So I was having a conversation some time ago with Nathan, and then it was like, okay, so I have to go to school, and I was like, are you a student? Are you going back to school? I said, oh no, I'm going to teach. I'm a lecturer. And I was like, this is a university. Nathan, tell us about your lecturing experience too.
Yes. So I think the very first time I attempted teaching, I think it was in uni. I was teaching my mates. I think for the longest of times, I had always noticed that I enjoyed explaining things to my classmates, whether primary school or JSS or in secondary school. I noticed I enjoyed doing that. Right. So it was in uni that I once had to explain a few things to my friends, and it came quite naturally. Yeah. And so for my service, the institute or the School of Translators or the School of Languages said, oh, okay, come and do your service. So I taught an English class, like English as a second language. So I was teaching mostly foreigners. And then that was fun. I enjoyed it because, like I said, it came almost very natural. And then after that, taught for a bit, went to school, came back. So even when I started working at City, I was still juggling teaching a language class and then working here. Wow. And
how old were you then when you joined City?
2013. So that's what? 2013, I was about 26.
So 26 and you are teaching
I was teaching foreigners. So I taught for a bit. It was interesting because you are teaching different people from different backgrounds, old people, young people. And I remember when I did my service, this was in my early 20s, the first day I stepped into the classroom to teach, the students were shocked.
I'm sure.
Because these are 17, 18-year-olds and they are looking at a lecturer who's not too...
Equally their age.
So I get that.
That vibe was there.
Yes, and then So a few years ago, Bernard Avila, who's our general manager, told me that the UPSA VC wanted to talk to me on an issue. I didn't know what it was. Then he called, he sought my opinion. I shared my opinion with him. Then just when he dropped the call, he said, wait a minute, like, do you teach? I was like, yeah, I've taught a few times.
The VC called you?
Yes.
So
you're a big man.
So you did not even go looking for a
No,
job?
the VC called to discuss something else.
Wow.
Then just when the call...
What did he want to talk to you about?
Oh, do I want to say it?
Yeah, like just, summarize.
Okay, so this was it. So UPSA wanted to give the CAF presidents an honorary degree.
Okay.
And
honorary degree.
Which of the CAF presidents?
Ahmad.
Yes.
Okay. So they wanted to give him an honorary degree. I mean, Ahmad is no more CAF president.
Yeah.
Was it before or after his troubles?
This was way before. This was way before.
No, otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten an honorary.
Yeah. So he wants. It looks like he didn't know what to do. So he saw the opinions of some journalists. He has spoken to some other journalists, and he said, "Okay, let me speak to this guy and let's see what he has to say." So I gave him my opinion. Just when he ended the call, he asked if I had taught before. And I said I had taught before. Then he asked, would I want to take up an appointment at UPSA? I said, okay, I'll think about it. Yeah. I thought it was one of those things. Then he called back a few days later and said he was serious. So I went to see him, gave him my CV, looked at it. Then a few weeks later, sent me to the faculty, met my faculty head. They said, okay, teach level 100s.
Wow.
So what were you teaching?
Right. So I was teaching them business communication. So they gave me a business communication syllabus to teach. I said, okay, it's not too strange. I'll teach that.
Wow.
So the first few weeks was a little awkward, but after I got the hang of the course, I said, okay, we could teach. So
but how are the girls, some friends that
girls are we talking about?
As a lecturer, the new lecturer. But I know, you can't tell me that the girls were not excited to see you.
I don't know if they were. They never told me anything.
But
no, they didn't show any signs as well?
Well,
you must have caught a few signals here and there.
What kind of signals?
A few signals.
I got keys.
Okay,
I got keys.
Every time I teach, hold on. Okay. Every time I teach, I have a principle. I say that I believe in making my students feel comfortable. So I'm usually very, very nice with my students. I try to get the class to be warm and cordial and all of that. So that's so people will be nice and say, Mr. Quao, those types of things, But luckily for me, I have not experienced any very precarious situations. Thank God for that.
They go like Mr. Quao, you also don't go like, please call me Nathan.
No, typically I would have loved to have been on first name basis with students, but I think that in as much as you want to be that, you have to draw the line, and I think it helps preserve that kind of relationship. So if they call me Mr. Quao, I'm very fine with that.
So you were privileged, growing up, when you finished school, university, you had the options, to either go into music or either go into maybe, or music had not come in at that time.
No. For the longest of times, I'd always considered music as a hobby, something I just discovered I could do. So I never really thought about it, and I'll say that
mainstreaming it.
Yes, look, even putting music out, it's thanks to King of Accra.
Okay, so we'll go deeper into that, but you kind of knew what you wanted to do because you're already teaching, even when you were out of school. So where did the media, come in? Why did you not continue to lecture students? Why? What happened?
I either would have, and probably I may still do that later in life. Maybe go get a doctorate and teach in my later years, because I think I will end up in the classroom eventually. But growing up, by the time I was 8, I knew in my mind I was going to do one of two things: either be a journalist or teach, or do something that required me to talk.
Wow. How did you know?
By 8, I knew it because by age 6, I could read the newspaper. Even though I didn't understand anything, my dad would hand me the paper and say, read what you see. And I could read almost everything in the newspaper. I did not understand what I was reading. But by 8, I could watch the news and run and go and tell my mother that I saw this on CNN.
Oh, wow.
And I remember something very interesting. The day Lady Diana died, my mom was outside chatting with my aunt. And I ran out of the room and I went and I said, Mom, Lady Diana is dead. She was like, are you crazy? I said, I'm not.
So
come and watch the telly. From that point, that episode stayed with me, and I told myself that I was either going to end up as a journalist or end up doing something that required me to talk or communicate. And then as I grew up, of course, every boy loved sports. So as I grew up, I tended to watch more sports, probably more than other boys. I'd spend more time watching football games, trying to understand and all of that. And the interest grew and grew and grew. And by secondary school, I just knew that it's at a point it would come. You know.
Do you do any sport yourself?
But I haven't played active football in a while. Football and basketball. Those are the two sports I say I can do. You know, I haven't done those in a while, but those are the sports I think I can do quite well. And yeah, so by secondary school I kind of knew. So some of my mates in secondary school are not surprised at all as to how my life has played out. Some of my mates from university are not surprised at all. Probably the only surprising part there is the music.
Yeah.
But even that, mates from secondary school, because back in secondary school we played around with music, did some rap here and there and all of that. Yeah. So.
But how do you feel when people draw a link between yourself and the original Nathan Quao, your grandfather?
My granddad.
Yeah.
It feels. It's kind of funny and odd sometimes, but it has its perks. Strangely enough, it has its perks because you go somewhere, you mention your name, go like, oh yeah, your granddad is this, and you know, so I knew him or something like that. And I remember meeting Bendo Chemalo once came to City, and we were introducing ourselves in the newsroom, and I mentioned my name. Then he said, "Wait a minute, it's your granddad?" And I said, "Yes." Then he looked at me and said, I owe you lunch. Why? He went to Quao Secondary School. Now, my granddad was the first headmaster of Quao Secondary School. And that was Bendo Chemalo School. He said, I owe you lunch. Like, that's the school your grandfather was headmaster of, and the school shaped me, all of that. It opens doors. You know, it's kind of. The interesting part, though, is when people meet me and they go like, you know, you have a street named after you.
Yes, that's true. Nathan Quao Street.
But it's one of these days I need to go and take a picture there.
You should. Because the first day I saw that street, I was very excited. I was like, oh wow, Nathan Quao.
I need to go and take a picture there. Take the picture of the man and his street.
So why did you decide to go to Leicester to do international relations and diplomacy?
I remember after during service, I kept asking myself, what would I do? And I think my mom also said, see, you have to go back to school and learn again. I said, okay, but what am I going to learn? So I remember when the advert came out and they published it in the papers, I looked through the courses. Nothing really jumped at me except international affairs, because I said it would be nice to understand how the world worked.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know, how governments functioned, how governments related to each other. Because I felt it was a great thing to know, and knowing that would be important. I mean, even as a journalist, just knowing how the world functioned. So I said, okay, I'd apply. Okay, so I applied. I remember the long, anxious wait to see if I'd get in to do the interview. I got in and was even more anxious waiting to see if I had made the shortlist. And I remember a gentleman I went to the interview with called me and said, Nathan, you've passed. Your name is on the list. I said, that's not true. He said, okay, where are you? I said, I'm teaching. He said, okay, when you are done, if you want to just satisfy yourself, go all the way to Legon and go and see the list. So I went all the way from Adabraka to Legon because I was teaching at the Institute of Languages. Got there and I was nervous. Then as I approached, you know the Leicester building, as I approached, I saw the list on the glass door, and I got there, got close, started looking through 1, 2, 3. I couldn't see my name. I was like, what's happening? Then I saw my name, there was like 20 something. Then I looked at it again and looked at it again and looked at it again.
Confirmation and good measure.
I shook my head. I called my mother and I said, Mom, I'm in. She said,
wow.
So I think
Leicester can really be tight to get entry because they just take a few people.
So in my class we were 50. There are about 10 of the people from the foreign affairs place. Because it's important that they need to get this academic grounding of their work. And that's.
But how has that helped you? Because you've done bits and pieces of everything.
It helps because, for example, if I'm listening to the news, since I'm watching international news, right? And I hear, anything that concerns, say, China or the US, and you kind of, taking such a course helps you understand why governments lean a certain way or they act a certain way towards each other. You understand why the US sees China the way it sees China and why China sees the rest of the world the way it sees the rest of the world. So I think it's been helpful. People will say, so why aren't you going to do diplomatic work? I tell them that when you get the knowledge, you can manipulate the knowledge to do anything you want.
But would you consider that?
Doing diplomatic work, maybe later in life. Somebody says, "Oh, come and be an ambassador." Why not?
Of course.
Or like come and advise an embassy or something. But it takes time. I think that I need to like build myself a bit more. Not necessarily learn in a classroom, but learn by interacting with people, people's experiences. Those kinds of information or that type of knowledge is very important if you want to like make the progress or climb up.
No rush.
You know, so at some point you decided that, okay, so this is my hobby, music. I'm going to make a profession out of this. Nathan, why?
Well, I haven't made a profession out of it. Okay, I have songs out.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
it's
once
out
you
there.
put songs out, I mean,
Okay, so
It's a career.
professional hobby.
Can you imagine?
okay, so again, I mentioned King of Accra. So when he started working here, not too long after, I mean, I'd come to see him because I know him from school. We'll sit and talk, and I said, look, King, I want to put out music. He says, why not? Put out music. Where do I start? He says, look, just put your ideas together. The very first thing I attempted, I remember when Sarkodie dropped Bibiba. So what he did was that after they recorded the song, they put the beat out and they told people have fun with it.
Yeah.
And so I heard it, and then I remember I recorded that one. That came out like, that song December. I recorded it somewhere.
Yeah.
So now when it came out, people liked it. And then King said, you see, I told you should try more of that. And then a few months later, Sarkodie again released the Who the Man instrumental. He had recorded a song with Kwesi Arthur.
Yeah.
And then I got the beat. And I remember it so well. I got it one weekday. I can't seem to remember which day it was. But I kept playing it on the drive home. But the more I played it, the more I started
getting ideas.
Yeah, I was getting ideas. So I got home, I was lying down. It was around 10, almost 11 p.m. I was lying down and I said, no, let me write. So I got up, I was pacing up and down my room, playing the beat and writing the lyrics. And I wrote them all in one night.
Ooh.
And then I recorded one weekend. Before I was at the recording session, I remember recording everything at one go.
Yeah.
One take.
No, you're some special kid, huh?
How amazing that.
And he's amazing on the keyboard.
Exactly, yeah.
And then,
Nathan,
so
my
after
life is
that,
not fair.
and then after that, one thing led to the other. I got in touch with iPapi, and you know iPapi, the guy who did Stone Boys Ololo.
Okay.
I got in touch with him, and then I got a sample of his beats, and then I got some beats of him. Two of those beats. So one of that became Oh Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right? And then the other one became Be Mine, and I featured King of Accra. And Be Mine has an interesting story. I was struggling to write the song. But the moment I heard the beat, I knew what kind of song I wanted to write.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where to start or the kind of chorus or the hook, as we would say. So I played it to King of Accra and I said, Charlie, you have to come up with something. And then he came up with the idea. I was driving home when he called me and said, I've sent you a draft of what I've recorded. Just listen to it if you like it. And as soon as I started playing the beat and his chorus came, all the locked doors and windows opened and the ideas
This is the one.
ideas started to flow. And then, so it was a Friday night. By Saturday 4 p.m. I had written the song.
Wow.
Awesome.
So I woke up in the morning toying with the ideas. So between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. that Saturday, this was during lockdown, right? So that Saturday I was home. Again, I was sitting in my room and I just wrote it. It just came together.
Nathan, it's enough, you know. That is the keyboard there. Do your magic, you know. Let's do something fun.
Let's hear you.
I'm not like an Elton John.
No, but you're Quao.
Or anything, but I'll try. Okay. All right. So we'll just play bits and pieces.
Everything.
Okay. So Tufo, you and I love rap music.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
so I'll play
hip hop head.
Yes. So I'll try and play something of a rap classic, right? Something of a rap classic. I don't know if you're ready for this. Okay.
All right, go. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know this one. Guess who's back? Still Drake.
So that's
This is Dr. Dre.
This is Dr. Dre.
But
This is still Dre.
but I have Scott
Scott
Storch
Storch.
doing
But I
the
think we're going to
clear.
rap or you're going to do something, oh?
Soma, you relax.
It's all right, okay.
What you did to me last week.
It's okay, it's okay.
You see now, no
Here
more.
be roadside. Interesting.
Okay, so what else do we play? Frema, you like Akwabwa? I know you like
Oh,
Akwabwa a lot.
I die. I have Akwabwa.
Okay, I like Akwabwa too.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm going to play a portion of Shemibo, one of my favorite portions of Shemibo. Right?
Okay.
So let's see. And I apologize if I don't sing too well, but we'll do
I'll
it.
help you.
I'm
a ransom cry warrior. 85 for me to me Jim say. Papa mo body mo. Merewa. Me pesa me don't want so I send binti. Me come any man I'm a soft magic. Can't send back me mommy de wundi. I wanna give my all. Daddy daddy day. Shamibo, Shamibo, Shamibo. Is a booty, a Shamibo, 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 Shamibo. Would I say, Shamibo? Promise me that you love me now and then. Would I say, Shamibo? And if I go broke, would you love me the same way? Oh, the Shamibo.
No, but what can't you do?
Can you imagine?
Can you cook?
A little bit.
You can boil water.
That I can do. That I can do.
And we're ladies' man.
I'm not.
Oh, here we are by the roadside, so
Sugar,
we should show
I'm not.
some of the
we hear
stuff.
stories, so
So make a release
we hear
keys.
stories.
Of what?
Make a release keys.
No.
Okay. If you say no, then I'll pardon you.
This guy is amazing. Charlie, we're going to give you a microphone here. I mean, tweet out to some of yours. I mean,
Of course,
But
you know.
we'll find them. I mean,
Please, do your magic. Yeah. I love, you know, I love the
you
mind.
probably have to take the receiver from behind you. Take it off from behind you.
Yeah, so so you can just probably put it in your pocket or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you can go with you, yeah. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out to everybody watching the Upside Down Show. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's go. Listen, I'm riding my rhymes on the biggest pad. My people be watching, the thing is mad. I'm laughing and grinning because I just roll up and pick up the money in the biggest bag. In 2020, we were rolling hard. That be why the banger be going hard. You think that we're slowing, you see what we're doing. We'll give you the music, we're going far. We're heading for the top now, never gonna stop now, never gonna flop now. Keep it going, and we're never gonna drop now. So you better tap now, never gonna tap now. We be rolling, you people thinking we joking and really funny. Look at the ratings, have to check your silly money. We're taking everything you're putting on the table, leaving you disabled. We only get the silly dummies, but they call me the chief. Big boy never sleep. Put a rap on fleek with a 363, but they call me the chief. And big boy never sleep. Put a rap on fleek with a 363. I take a pause and I breathe and I know this, and that I roll with the best and the coldest. You know I got more skills than I show this. You never hold this, you never messing with the figure man. Hyper quick, you blink and it's a trigger man. Type of guy you rock with the jigger man. Rock the stage, the shout outs to bigger man. Yeah, I got my people saying DB. Charlie, what more? We're looking for the CD. And they'll be taking my knee, the same GD. And they'll be calling us bad, the same DD. We're doing every day, we work busy. Who be the boss? They be asking mini. I'm living them with the tension, the heebie-jeebie. So right now, it be 50-50, so no giddy. But they call me the chief. Big boy never sleep. And I put the rap on fleek with a 363. And they call me the chief. Big boy never sleep. And I put a rap on fleek. Y'all ready? Listen, so many people wanna come on me and they debate. I sit back and I hesitate. I hit fast and I leave on the floor while I meditate. To clean that, I just delegate. And then I bury weight. So when I hit them in the chest and they levitate, then always heavyweight. And then I relegate. Another man of things in the background. I pop and I celebrate. And I'm an enemy up the track. We taking over, I got the game. So now we talk up to the place and we taking over, I got the game. The streets we got the flame, sit on top of fame, dropping these drums. So beats we got the game. Now the hits drop, they love the hip hop. The girl she took for me up on TikTok, but they call me the chief. And big boy never sleep. And I put a rap on fleek. Yeah, with a 363. And they call me the chief. Big boy never sleep. Put a rap on fleek with a 363. Let's go. Hey, Charlie. You know, so that was
all right, and I think it's really big.
He said King of Accra.
Awesome.
So King of Accra is going to join you. You know?
King of Accra will be joining me
King of Accra?
for this particular song. King of Accra is in the house. He'll be joining us. Now listen, this is a song that every time I play the song, I owe a lot of gratitude to him because it was his idea of the chorus that kind of liberated, you know, the other parts of the song to come together. And
the story behind the mind.
Who is the story? Who is the person you're talking to?
Wow, it's just a love song. So
did you do that song at the time? I think you did that song.
Which time was it?
You asking which time? Neta, which time?
You know, love songs are usually most of the time from personal experiences.
Neta, you and I know the time I'm talking about. Did you do it at that time?
I think I recorded the song during lockdown.
Okay, but that thing was like 2019.
So I put it like it's just a vibe. It's just a vibe.
I got you.
We feel that.
Yeah, Kid of Accra, where are you?
Is going to
Please.
join Nathan Quao on set. They're going to be
please join us.
performing a song they did together. It's entitled Be People, this has been the Upside Down Show right here on City TV. It's always a pleasure coming your way with nothing but the best.
My name is Premier Dunyame.
And mine is Nanatu4. The show was brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can.
Nathan and Kid of Accra, take us away.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Nathan.
Yeah. King of Accra, I get some girl, so tell him say I love her.
Say them me who no me feel it when my boy time in charge. Say them me who no me feel it when my boy time in charge. Baby I want you.
You have the taste.
I need
you
you.
have the type.
I want
Look
you.
at her waist.
I need
It no
you.
be hype.
Baby I want
She
you.
be my taste.
I need
She
you.
be my type.
Baby.
Look at her waist. Listen, Listen, not by him, I'll be feeling you. I need to have you in my life. Baby, see the deal is you. Maybe you be thinking I'll be joking, I'll be fooling you. But nothing could be better than the truth that I'll be shooting you.
Hey.
You see, the reason I'll be telling you these lines is because you're so magnificent, you're classic and you're fine. And I love the way we vibe. Connect on IG Live. I know they fit to focus every time we on the drive. Cause your form be amazing. Elegance be epic. The honey with the glaze, all real, no be edit. The #1 fan, cheerleader, let me rep it. And know they hold your hands while we do the dance, step it. I bring the #1 sound, we the run town. Anybody with him, baby, I go run down. I go there on body from beginning to sundown. Date night, it's a Saturday, baby, so come down and make it go.
Say them me who no me feel it when my boy time in charge. Say them me who no me feel it when my boy time in charge. Baby I want
She be my taste,
I need
she be
you.
my type.
I want
Look at her waist,
I need
it no
you.
be hype.
Baby I want
She be my taste,
I need
she be
you.
my type.
So baby,
Check that,
be
listen.
mine.
And then I wanna make you Mrs. Quao. No be future, this is now. What the ladies they go bow, baby, have your kisses now. Very intense prayer, top of the witches now. Rub the lamp and I be dead in have your wishes now. Oh, let me now, Bopo, just like DL said. Oh yeah, Makuma Mutafe, just like DL said. I be saying no to other ladies, they once dead. Cause I'm feeling your love like it was A1 bread. And while they talk, if you smile, then I got you. I they do over speed, baby, break, see I got you. The feeling check like phobia, it never just a die. Faggy time last, spin the gold, then I guess go shy. Everything gonna be your own, relax. Other sickness, it catch me in and they won't relapse. But fabulous is telling me to breathe. And baby, we're together, it's a dream, so you gotta just believe it. Make me go.
Say them me who no me feel it when my boy time in charge.
My bubble time in church.
Say them me who no me feel it when my boy time in charge. Baby I want
She be my taste,
I need
she be my type.
I want
Look at her waist,
I need
it no be hype.
Baby I want
She be my taste,
I need
she be
you.
my type.
So baby,
She be my taste.
be mine. Say them me who no me feel it when my boy time in charge. Say them me who no me feel it when my boy time in charge. Baby I want you, I need you. I want you,
I need you, and I love you.
I want you,
and I need you.
need you. So baby, be mine.
Together we can.